7 years locked up for fraud, racketeering, and one of those really fortunate slip-ups involving UEFA executive and a briefcase full of fake passports. My name is Darius King, and this is me, free, broke, and somehow still alive. Now, I'm out a little bit early because a friend of mine, well, I should say an old business friend of mine, has opened up a football club, and he wants me, Darius King, to be the manager of this football club. What do I know about football? What do I know about managing a club? The only thing I know is money. And that's the one thing I do best. Now, the club owner left me with a car with no notes, no flowers, just keys and blood on the steering wheel and the smell of stale ambition. Apparently, he says this is a car for a football manager. If that's what they're calling me, well, I guess that's what I am. This place always feels too clean, like the city doesn't want to admit where its dirt has come from. I hadn't seen this place in years, but it still smelled like exhaust fumes, lies, and overpriced cologne. But it wasn't about nostalgia. It was about business with ghosts. A nightclub meeting with investors, they said. In my world, it's either a job or a setup. Probably both. These weren't bankers or agents. They were men who used football shirts to hide cartel checks. But they don't care about goals. They only care about financial margins. And they picked me to run the whole damn circus. I kept driving because when you've done time, you don't ask why someone's handing you a second chance. You just take the wheel and hope the brakes work. This club was empty, barren, but these weren't people who wanted to bankroll a football team in London. Either I was their man or their next liability. One of them called it a passion project. Another just winked and whispered something about laundering through transfer fees. Man, football's changed. As I stood on the dock, watching the ocean breathe, I realised they want me as the fall guy again. Freedom don't feel like much when your past is still cuffed to your shadow. I wanted out that life, but the life wants me back in. I made a house for you there, buddy. Somewhere to stay in. The investors gave me a place to stay. A high-rise, city view, bulletproof windows. Classy. I said I need to look the part. A criminal turned coach. Sounds like a Netflix special. Now, I'm either the luckiest guy in the world to be given an apartment and a car when I've only been out of prison for an hour and a nightclub to run and a football club to manage. I'm either blessed or I'm being set up again to take an even more longer time in prison. But either way, I've been given another chance. I promised my mother I would never do this again, never turn to a life of crime. So why not? Let's see where the dice fall. Let's manage this club and let me do it the right way. Let me stay on the right side of the law. Now, I told these reporters, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to win. If you got a problem with my past, watch what I do in the future. They laughed and tapped on their phones, wrote on their notepads, but I told them watch. Now, the club owners told me I've only got £1 million to spend on players and staff. I'm the only one in this building and I have very little money to move. So I thought the first thing I'm going to do is sort out my tactics. That's what I'm about. I'm a tactician. That's one thing I know. If I can't manage money properly, then at least I know that I'm a tactician. But I need help. I need staff. And I felt the best thing for me to do is spend my budget to get some staff to really help me out because I can't do this on my own. I need help. As you can see, this is why I went to prison, because I just spent all my money on staff. But the good news is we can make up at least £500,000 on winning this competition. This is a great opportunity for one, to see if my players can rise to the challenge and to see if I can make something out of this club who's currently in League 2 at the moment. Now, I'm not expecting anyone to come for my players. We've got a bunch of kids that have never kicked a ball before. Some of them have just come out of prison like me. Some of them come from Sunday League. But one guy came to me and said, look, there's a player that I want. We want to have him on loan, but we want to buy him at the end of the season. Now, I'm not looking to sell any of my players yet. So I thought, come into my office, sit down, let's have a chat. And he keeps calling me kid. I don't understand this disrespect. But I thought, let me be calm and be humble. I said to him, look, mate, you can have him on loan, but you can't buy him at the end of the season. I'm not a selling club. I'm not Arsenal, all right? We don't get rid of our talented players where you can win trophies with them. I'm going to make sure that we win something with the players I have. But he said, look, mate, you're having none of it. I'm out of here. You can't do business. I'll go somewhere else. I said, cool, mate, keep it walking. Now, we go into our first pre-season game of the tournament, And it's against Al Bacha. I can't pronounce. We're going to call them Al, all right? This is the team that we're playing. It's called Al. We're going to our first game. I haven't really introduced you guys to any of the players just yet, but there is one player who is the main man. His name is Hale. Hale. He is the man. He's the one on the ball here, but as you can see, he gets dispossessed already. But needless to say, guys, we've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work attacking, defending. These guys, it doesn't even look like they know how to kick a ball. And I'm standing here on the sidelines like, guys, press the ball. But lo and behold, they roll out the red carpet and let the team score their first goal. But it's okay. It's 15 minutes in. I said, boys, just get your head down and work hard. Hard work always pays off. But as you can see, football knowledge is something these boys lack. But it's my job as the manager to put what's inside my brain into their head. So we're on the ball now. So guys, look, let's just see what you've got. Let me see you guys get into the final third and let the ball do the work. We get the ball in the box and we let off a wayward pass and a wayward shot furthermore. So anyways, the other team, Al, comes up back the other end. They're doing, you can tell they've been together for years because look how they're just moving the ball. They're working hard for each other. No press on the ball. The goalkeeper didn't do anything. So now I've got to go and change up something. I've got to bring on some new players. I've got to change the tactics. I've got to do something because it's becoming embarrassing now. It's not even just like, oh, let's see what's going on. It is an absolute embarrassment. So I've got to try and not only stop the goals from going in, but also try and get us on the score sheet for the fans, for the ones who travel this way. But again, another goal goes in, the fourth goal, and 10 minutes after extra half time, and we've already conceded another goal. So it looked like we look quite promising. I thought, guys, at least get a goal, one goal, and give us something to build on. So the boys are building the ball up. Hal trying to get something going. We give the ball to our striker, and that is the closest we'll ever get to a goal in this match. And to add more insult to injury, to put the nail on the coffin, they cross the ball in right to the back post, and obviously they want it more, and the game ends 5-0. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute embarrassment, but I've got to pick the boys up. I've got to tell lads, listen, it's our first game. It's a long season. The hard work starts now. You have to trust me. I know what I'm doing, but I don't think I do. Now, I've always been told if you're good at something, never do it for free. If you're good at something, be the best at it. Be the Mozart of laundering money. Be the Beethoven of crime. But I'm torn, guys. I don't know whether to continue to try and help these young players make some of themselves, be an example. Well, I'm just going to look out for me. Do what I do best. Do what I know best. Now, I found this room, and this room has got some things in there which I don't know if I'm going to make use of or just continue being a football manager. But I'm torn, guys, man. Even as I look back and think about that goals that we conceded, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. But there's one thing I do know that I am cut out for. And that's being me. Being a gangster, as they say. Thank you for checking out episode 1 of this brand new series, but this is a special opportunity for you guys to influence episode 2. Let me know in the comments down below. I've got no more money, so I need free agents that I could buy. If I do buy it, you get a shout out in the next episode and the following episodes as well. So please subscribe for episode 2 and don't forget to drop a like, and I'll see you at the next episode. Let's go, baby.